It's saying like, hey, 2 to the 4th is 16, 2 cubed is 8, 2 squared is 4, 2 to the 1 is 2, and look, you keep dividing by 2 to get your answers. And that's great. You ultimately end up getting that 2 to the negative 1 is just 1/2. So we say 2 to the negative 1 equals 1 over 2 to the 1, which equals simply 1/2. All those are equivalent. So this is the proof. If you get it, great. If not, it's not a big deal for 8th grade. Save that for geometry, or excuse me, next year. But we are going to have to know how to deal with negative exponents here. So let's do some practice. And your directions are simplify the expressions to get positive exponents. So let's say we have 3 to the negative 2. Well, to simplify that, all we're going to do is we're going to bring the exponent to the bottom. So we're going to go 1 over 3 squared. So as a note to yourself, you can say bring everything to the denominator, the bottom. The exponent is now positive again. And that's a big time yay in math. It's more simple. Positives are easier to deal with. All right, so let's try another one here. 2 to the negative 4th. What will that equal with positive exponents? Well, if you look right here, this little note for ourselves, maybe you don't need to include the yay in the quotes, but you're going to bring everything to the bottom. Okay, so 2 to the 4th, but the exponent is now positive, and it's over 1, so those equal each other. Go ahead and try 10 to the negative 3rd. What does that equal? Well, if you do the same thing, you bring everything down to the bottom, you should get 1 over 10 cubed, and there you go. Just bring it to the bottom, that's all. Now, if you were to do that with the product rule, with the zero rule, all these things come to play. You got to keep all these rules in mind. So that's our second rule. Can we have negative exponents? Can we have an exponent of 0? And then the product rule and the quotient rule. So we learned 2 new rules today. Let us practice. Let us practice. So you are going to practice using the product rule, product, quotient, and 0/negative exponent rules. This is 4 rules with exponents, and exponents are definitely tricky as it is. So let's definitely take some time with this. Here are practice questions I want you to write down. 1. 5 to the negative 3 times 5 to the 5th. Number 2. 4 to the negative 70th, wow, times 4 to the 68th. 3. 3 to the 10th over 3 to the 12th. 4. You can just keep copying it down. Yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, maybe learning with your pajamas. It's basically always pajama day with school not being in session. I certainly have. But yeah, definitely enjoy this because you probably will never get a chance to do this again. I know it's a sad situation, but hey, You can look at everything on a bright side. You'll probably never have a chance to do this kind of schoolwork in your pajamas now. I heard you guys have gym class to do, and health and all your other classes. It is definitely a lot. So hey, if you're watching this video, you're taking notes, you are really impressive. You know, taking good notes, asking questions, that's very impressive. All right, so here we go. I want you guys to try, well, let's try some together, and then I will go over some and let you guys try some. So I want to try number 2 with you. So 2 is 4 to the negative 70th times 4 to the 68th. Well, we're going to use our product rule. So we'll get 4 to the, negative 70, plus 68 is negative 2. So we're going to get 4 to the negative 2. But we're not done, because we learned that we can have negative exponents, and the way to make it a positive exponent is bring everything to the bottom and leave the exponent as a positive. Now, that's number 2. All right, I also want us to check out number 7. Let's check out number 7 here. 2 to the 3rd times 2 to the 7th over 2 to the 13th. Well, if we use our product rule, let's add these exponents here. So we'll get 2 to the 10th over 2 to the 13th. And then we'll subtract exponents using the quotient rule, and we'll get 2 to the negative 3. But you should be saying, oh, there's a negative exponent. We're going to make it a positive exponent by bringing everything to the bottom. Look, it's basically the same thing, but now it's just on the bottom and the exponent is positive. So those two things. Bottom plus positive exponent. All right. You guys can pause the video and try the rest of these and resume it when you want to see the answers. Okay, so this is simply just 5 squared. You don't have to simplify. It's already positive exponents. Number 3 should be 3 to the negative 2, and then you should make that 1 over 3 squared, which even equals 1 over 9 if you went that far. Great. 6 to the 7th over 6 to the 9th. That'll also be 6 to the negative 2, and that will be 1 over 6 squared. We got 5 squared over 5 to the 4th. That will equal 5 to the negative 2, and you'll get 1 over 5 squared. This one here, you're going to use the product rule and the quotient rule. So we're going to get 3 to the 6th over 3 to the 5th, and that just equals 3 to the 1. When you subtract these exponents, and 3 to the 1 really just equals 3, if you want to be even more simple. All right, the trickiest ones here, 8 and 9. Definitely hard here. I wonder if anyone got this. We're going to subtract these exponents. Okay, so we're going to subtract the exponents, which were negative 3 and negative 10. Do you see it now? There's the double negative. So it's going to be really negative 3 plus 10, which will be 7. So you should get 5 to the 7th. Nope, negative exponents anymore. And then number 9, again, product rule, quotient rule. You're going to get 4 to the negative 8th over, because negative 3 plus negative 5 is negative 8, over 4 squared. When you minus that, you'll get 4 to the negative 10, which equals 1 over 4 to the 10th. 9 and 8 were definitely tricky. We used the product rule first for 9, then the quotient with negatives, and then negative exponents. So it was all tricky. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm gonna have you do 3 do I get it today questions, and I'm not gonna make you guys do an assignment. Your assignment was just all these notes that we had written down. Definitely a lot of notes today. So I'm not gonna make you do an assignment. Just try these do I get it questions, and if not, maybe go back in the video and try to make sense of it. And if you do, then hey, you got today. So do I get today? Do I get it? You're always asking yourself that question in math. Do I get it today? So here's question 1. Or here are your directions, sorry. You're going to simplify the expressions. Have only positive exponents. So here's number 1. 4 to the 0 plus 5 squared times 2. Number 2 is 5 to the negative 3. And number 3 is 4 times 4 to the 5th, all over 4 to the 7th. Go ahead, pause the video, try those out, see if you got today. All right, so for the 0, that's going to be 1 from that rule we learned, plus 5 squared times 2. Well, 5 squared is just 5 times 5. Bring down that times 2. This is stuff that we didn't even learn today. This was yesterday. And that's just going to be 1 plus, well, 5 times 5 is 50 times 2, and 50 times 2 is 100. So 1 plus 100, you should get 101. 5 to the negative 3, that will just be 1 over 5 to the 3. And then this one here, product rule, will give us 4 to the 6th, because there's really an exponent of 1 there, all over 4 to the 7th. This will be 4 to the 6 minus 7, which is just 4 to the negative 1, which is 1 over 4. So there you go. If you got those 3, you definitely got today. If not, reread the video and then perhaps join a Google Hangout if I get that going later in today. But anyways, I just want to say you guys had a great first week. Classes might look different for math next week. I'm not sure, but I'll keep you guys posted on Google Classroom. So stay tuned and have a great weekend.